The empire of the rising sun has risen. The Western barbarians will bow before us.
Well, Red Alert 3 is really a fantastic story. I think it's really fantastic when a game has all that gameplay, but there really is a dramatic story weaving through it, and we really have one. The writers really spent a lot of time developing this story.
That was a win-win for everyone, Commander. Well, not the Reds. For them, it was more of a lose-lose.
It basically is a story where the Russian faction goes back in time, takes Einstein out, and that changes the history of the world, so that there are now three factions in the world: the Soviet faction, the Allied faction, and the Imperial faction. They are fighting for control of the world.
President Ackerman is very self-assured, smug, some might say, and about as extreme a hawk as you're likely to find.
Bullpucky! You know those Russians can't be trusted. They hate everything we stand for. Freedom, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, apple pie. Did I say freedom?
President Ackerman is not particularly open-minded about any kind of potential partnership with the commies, as he calls them.
You ready to send those commies running back to their mommies?
Field Marshal Bingham is an ally of President Ackerman and of the United States, and there are times when they will butt heads, one time notably, but for most of the game they're staunch allies.
I'll tell you what, Bingham, I like this new commander. Let's send him to France so he can kick a little more commie butt.
Actually, sir, I was considering that very possibility.
Field Marshal Bingham is very much the old school military. He's a bit like characters that you used to see in Second World War films, with a stiff upper lip. And he's very honest, very trustworthy, and is, I think, a little suspicious of the motives of the American president.
The leaders of all the other Allied nations already agreed.
Not me. Not the U.S. of by God, eh? You're making a very big mistake, my friend. You mark my words.
Commander Warren Fuller is basically the commander that works with the gamer as in charge of the Allied forces who will fight against the Soviets and the Empire of the Rising Sun and everybody else in the game.
This won't be the last time we meet, and next time your general won't be there to rescue you.
My character is Lisette. She's a commander for the Allies, and you can choose her to play with you. And she's kind of sassy. You know, she has her own little thing going on. She doesn't look tough, but she can kick some ass.
Well, that's a relief. When I heard you guys were coming, I thought it was going to be a tough fight.
One of the people you're going to love is Gemma Atkinson, who plays a wonderful role in this. She's one of the most beautiful women you'll ever see.
Your job is here, on dry land. And be on the lookout, sir. They know you're here. Yeah, my character is called Eva, and she's an Allied military briefer. She basically appears to be very straight, very kind of, clued up. The free world is now in your hands. But in actual fact, she has a soft spot for the commander, and she has a bit of a problem with Tanya, played by Jenny McCarthy. I think there's a bit of rivalry going on because they both kind of want the commander's attention. I'm glad to see you made it back in one piece, Commander. Excellent job.
You can flirt with the commander later, Lieutenant. Right now, we have a job to do. The character I play is Tanya, and she is a bit of a badass. Maybe not even a bit. She's a lot of a badass. She can kill a man 15 different ways with her bare hands.
So a word of advice, don't get on her bad side.
I'll tell you the scene that I'm excited to do. There's an interrogation scene where I kind of get busted a little bit from my commander and lieutenant while I'm trying to interrogate Sergei to find out where the headquarters are. I've never really done a scene where I've actually almost hurt somebody, so I'm excited to try to get information out of him. That you're gonna have to do on your own. Jenny's my rival in Red Alert 3, and yes, I think I could probably take her in an MMA fight without a problem, and I'd probably just, you know, put her to sleep with a nice chokehold or something, just to make sure it's not too painful, because she seems like a pretty sweet person.
I hope you were satisfied with Natasha's contribution on the battlefield. She's one of our finest. Cherdenko, the character that I play, is a soldier, but he's also a politician, and he's a great maneuverer. And for several years, he's been working on a secret project, which is in fact a time machine.
No, sir. 12 months ago, I was put in charge of a top secret project.
And things get so bad that he coerces, really, General Krukov to taking a trip in the time machine to Brussels in 1927.
This war should never have happened. We went back in time to save ourselves and everything changed.
Peter Stormare is out of his mind. I mean, you could commit him tomorrow. He's very funny, and perfect casting for a mad scientist, actually, because his instincts are, I think you could say, insane. Commander, this is Dr. Gregor Zelinski, possibly the greatest scientific mind of our time.
Oh, no, that was another. Far great.
Well, he's working for the government, and he has a pretty good salary. I presume he's a loner, and he's devoted to his job, and he is determined to do good in this world, but working for the military, sometimes his inventions and his cleverness is being misused.
Prepare these coordinates.
No, please, please.
Now!
Sir, no!
One of the rules of the space-time continuum, in which you travel in space, in time, is that you mustn't touch anything or anyone, because it turns to chrono dust.
Not touch nothing. We mustn't do anything to disrupt space-time continuum.
And I think he is a decent scientist who wants to do better and to create something better for this world. But as any scientist with talent, he is a little bit, you know, loony as well.
Working with Peter Stormare and Tim Curry has been wonderful. Oftentimes I find myself watching them and watching their characters come through.
Whatever it is too late.
Time is on our side.
And of course, if you control time, you can control essentially what you do and how much power you have over it.
And in one stroke, we've wiped out nuclear technology because it just won't exist. So we're going back to a very, very different world. And he thinks triumphantly to a new world order, but unfortunately, through the time-space continuum, there is a huge new enemy, which is the Empire of the Rising Sun.
They're attacking! There are too many! We have to evacuate!
Who is attacking?
The Imperial war machine has been unleashed. Do not struggle against what is inevitable.
The Empire of the Rising Sun has risen.